right, hello everybody. We are, of course, Theorycrafting Thursday. That's what you're listening to right now, and
I am in there again.
Oh, sorry. All right, we flip flop. It's flip flop Friday.
We don't flip flop, actually.
I flip flop when I'm half of us at least.
You just fuck up. Let's not try to call a Doug
I prefer
by any other.
I prefer to use the term flip flop. We are
different thing.
Proud, if there's one thing we can agree with is that we never flip-flop on the concept for the show, right? We're consistent every week, and that's what we pride ourselves in. And today, of course, returning as always, we're a World of Warcraft nostalgic podcast. And we, as always, as we do every single week, like clockwork, no, that's not a Dota joke. We don't talk about that game here. We are going to be talking about the infinite debate on what our favorite raid content of all time is. And, you know, it's probably never going to end. It's been, we've done this show for 63 weeks at this point, and we've had the same exact concept every time.
If you count the
test episodes?
The recap episodes mostly I was going to talk about. A lot of people don't consider those canon because they have a lot of fourth wall breaking and stuff, but for us I feel like we should because it's like a lot of meta stuff that it does get referenced later.
Well, this week, I'm going to be reprising my role as the ICC Wrath of the Lich King apologist. Proud, what role are you going to be redeeming or re-embracing?
I guess I'll just go with the classic fucking Black Temple. Okay,
well, all right. Before we outline our thorough things, let's get through our appetizer for our full podcast, which would be our Dota talk. We are going to be discussing a game that we play called Dota 2 by Valve Incorporated, Valve Software. I don't actually know what Valve's official title is.
Volvino.
We've played, Valvino. It's called Volvo. They make cars. Oh, memes. All right. So we are going to be talking about our week in Dota. Let's do that. Proud, how has your week in Dota been, my dear friend? Dota?
It's been good, I guess. I played some unranked yesterday with Kuma and some other people because I was like, you know what? I hate things. I'm just going to play unranked and, spend an hour in each game and then forget about everything. And that was nice. And I played Arc Warden and shit, and that hero is fun.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be reviewing that game. I think TJ Sutton was in that game.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Maybe it was Kuma. Somebody did.
Kuma did
no,
that.
Lynx Clone sent it to me.
Yeah.
He played CM.
Nathan was there too in Voiceless Fade.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh, no, Lynx Clone was in another game. Not when I was... Lynx Clone was when I was Morphling? Oh, no. Maybe he did submit it because he was spectating it. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Regardless, that's going to happen. I've actually reviewed a couple games that you've been in. But so that was the only real standout for the week. No, signature heroes, or not signature, but no, consistent heroes this week. Or any big events in the world of... Is that it? I asked you a question and you said cool.
Sorry, I hit the power thing on my computer, but I have a laptop, so it didn't turn off. But my speakers, which my headphones are plugged into, did turn off, so I didn't really hear what you said.
What is that? Is that all you've done this week? Is it just some casual party games?
Played some Queen of Pain, played some Sveners, of course. I had a Juggernaut game, man, not Juggernaut, fucking Anti-Mage. This dude random Slark, and then their mid pick Storm right after, and I was like, guess who I'm gonna play against Slark and Storm Spirit on the same fucking team?
Yeah.
The answer was Anti-Mage. I played Anti-Mage. And then Venomancer would come up and use his skills, and I would not take any damage and then also just blink away. It was very fun.
That does sound fun. I have not played an Anti-Mage game recently that's been that good. I've been seeing a lot of him, of course, just because, everybody picks AM. But I am still in your camp of, I don't think AM is a great pub hero. In, other than, obviously, when you're counter-picking people. If you're just picking a carry, I still kind of, as much as I love AM, he's definitely not my, go-to pub hero.
Yeah. It was just the perfect game for I played shit and still had 700 GPM. And this patch of all patches, it was a good time to be an AM.
Yeah, I will say as far as satisfying carry games go, Anti-Mage is the carry that I feel I enjoy myself the most on, other than maybe Naga when I have a good carry game.
Okay,
that's it.
Yep.
Well, we're going to be talking at length with other things, so I'll just go through my week quickly.
Sure.
I played a bunch of regular, just unranked games. I had a very sad Coddle game, but other than that, nothing too exciting, a bunch of party games. I the big thing for me this week was I've been toying around with this Smurf, and we've been streaming games, and I've been trying to climb it independently just so I can get it up to like an MMR where games feel fair, because it's way lower than I expected. But the thing about it that I've kind of taken away is just, obviously most people that play Dota are in that like high 2K to low 2K, or like just in the 2Ks or in the low 3K bracket. So it has been interesting to get like hands-on experience playing in that bracket, being that that's like the bracket that we speak to in some degree.
I don't know if I would say most, but I'd say like the people who play the people who play a shit ton. I think most of them are in that category. It's like, I mean, most people with accounts, it's more between 1K and 2K or whatever, but of very active Dota players, most of them are in that range.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. So best to rephrase, a very high population area is in that like 2K and 3K brackets. And those are brackets both of us have been out of, for a good amount of time. So it's been interesting, as much as obviously, I am notably better than these players. It has been interesting
much better
to see. I know I feel like a terrible person when I say things like that, but it has been interesting playing these games, and like everybody assumes everybody else is at their skill level, more or less, and they treat it that way. Whereas like, obviously both of us play in party games with people of every bracket from, sub 1K all the way to 5K, and that's very different, right? Because if I play with a 3K player and I'm on my account, or like people ask for advice or whatever, or they like, oh, what should I do? Then like you lead them. Whereas if it's like me playing this 3200 MMR account, everybody's just like, yeah, trust me, you'll learn something. I'm gonna go Midas first, jungle LC, and it's gonna work. And then it does, because who cares, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I did real well. You could learn something. I'm like, yeah, you're right, buddy. I definitely learned something today. So that's been very interesting, in that like just experiencing a bracket that I'm unfamiliar with from like an educational standpoint of like knowing now. It informs me, I suppose, a bit more on like the attitudes and the environment and experience of a lot of players that I've coached or I have done replay reviews for that I speak to. And of course,
important to know the cultural context of the people that you're trying to teach, man.
Exactly. So that's been an unexpectedly insightful aspect of that. I have been trying my best not to like play mid or anything on that account, because like there's a very big difference between like trying real hard and winning games and like just playing games casually and just being a nice person, like, yeah, sure, I'll support and all that. So that's been a nice break. I honestly like don't know how much I want to actually do this, because I feel like I'm actually literally going to get worse at Dota playing outside of my bracket, kind of like we always talk about, where like my mid play has a lot of actively bad things to it, just because I practice my mid in mixed skill environments rather than practicing it in a MMR appropriate environment. So like I just dive and do stupid things. So I find myself doing that on this account also, which I feel like it's just gonna actively make me worse at Dota. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that so far, but it has been a fun experiment I played like a dozen games on it, and yeah, so that's been fun. But other than those like little things I've noticed, also like the bracket is somewhat interesting in that it's a lot more pleasant player wise than 4K to 5K, I find. But I did run into a number of Smurfs, like other Smurfs, which was interesting. And I did, let's see, in one of my games there was an intentional feeder on the other team, and then in another couple games like somebody left. So it's not been all roses. But it has been interesting to see the societal. That sounds like I'm classifying citizens of the Dota universe. It has been interesting to see the bracket differences in that the attitudes people have, because everybody famously says like, oh, once you get into 4K, the egos come out, and then it settles down once you're in like 6K plus.
No, dude, that's
true actually.
The current fucking zeitgeist of every decent like North American player who's played on North is just like North America is actually just the most fucking toxic, abysmal, shitty ass, fucking anguish filled shit pile that anyone could ever subject themselves to. And I mean, it's mostly true. It just gets worse as you get up. Like, fucking, you don't give IX Mike the lane that he's entitled to, and he'll feed your game. Like, that's just what'll happen.
Yeah, that's fair. I know like people used to say like, I mean, it does kind of peak though. I think both of us would agree on that. It peaks when you're at those break points. I guess like applying it to anything like past, 6.5K is very different because that pool of players is so small. But like speaking from experience, like when you're at that like 4K to 4,200, you have all these people that are like, oh man, these 3K trash players because one guy's like 3950. And then same thing like playing at 5K, right? Like you have these people that are like, oh yeah, I'm at 4,800, but it's because I lost a bunch of MMR. I'm 5,300, and you 4K trash don't know what you're talking about, like yada, like yelling like that. So that's when I've had the worst experience by far. But I haven't had that come out yet.
I will say like the 48 to 5,200 is actually just like a fucking concentration point of just raw sewage, I think.
Yeah, Yeah, it has been nice in my like ranked not anxiety, but like even playing on this 3K account, I still stress a bit about just because there's ranked on the line, even though I could not care less about this account. And like,
well, what does it mean if you lose a game, Bucko? How bad
I mean,
are
it
you?
means that it means that I lost a game on an account 2,000 MMR below me, which I have lost a few. I mean, that's just gonna happen. Like even like Wagamama playing on.
Sometimes you lose games of Dota 2.
Yeah. Although ironically,
I beat the fucking one time I played against Fear on one of his Smurfs, I beat him. I'm not better than Fear, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, ironically, it's not ironic, but unfortunately, I've played like a dozen games on this account. Every single game that I've lost has been on stream, and those are the only games that I've lost. I've never lost a game on this account off of stream, but every time I streamed, I think I've lost not a majority of the games, but a decent amount. I think I've gone like 50-50 playing on stream, and then I've won every single game handily playing off stream, which just doesn't make me look good.
All
that's
right,
for sure.
Let's finish this conversation.
Yeah, we're
and
done.
Do something.
We're done. All right. So let's talk about our segment. So 7.06E has come out for the game of Dota 2. And there's no real major changes. That's why we didn't do a patch notes episode. We're just going to do it pretty quickly. We're going to go through the changes and let's just get right to it. So the only general change is that neutral small camp gold bounty has been increased by 10. So you're going to be making a little more gold if you're playing a support. And, you're making a little more gold if you're, flash farming small camps and whatnot.
Yeah, to me, this just reads like once you're in that stage where you're blazing through the jungle, like maybe don't skip over the small camp, which a lot of the times people end up just doing. Like if you're an anti-mage and you're blinking between one camp and the other camp, like you're just going to blink there, hit it twice or hit it once or whatever, and then you still have like 3 seconds on your blink cooldown waiting for, like I'd rather just blink from medium camp to hard camp than deal with that shit.
Yeah,
but now maybe I'll take it.
Do you want to talk about the Alchemist changes? Alchemist has gotten nerfed repeatedly. And when I say you, I mean you specifically, because we've both played a little bit of Alchemist, but neither of us are avowed Alchemist players. But he's gotten super nerfed because he was kind of the plague, but now he's getting buffed again. His base agi is increased by 5, which means almost a full extra point of armor, and that's 5 more damage. And Grievel's Greed has... he's a strength hero. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Jesus, I know he builds Manta and shit.
Yeah.
But...
I said that and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but okay. Anyway,
you're right.
So it's almost a point of armor, and that's 5 attack speed, right? Grievel's Greed bounty rune multiplier increased by 50%, so now it's at 250% per bounty rune you pick up.
Man, I'm honestly, like, you just got really weird-ass ways of phrasing things. It didn't get increased by 50%.
Oh my god, yeah.
That would be 300, like 50% of 200% is a, so it would go to 300.
They added 50% to the number 200%.
Yeah, but you could just say it went from a 2 times multiplier to a 2.5 multiplier. Like, that's so much easier.
Okay, all right. Well, you talk about the implicates. I guess you're right. All right.
I'm 100% right.
God, this is just never going to end. We're going to argue about how we display information for all eternity.
I'm fine.
You're the one. Oh my God! All right.
I didn't argue so much as I solved something and it was just kind of done. And then you were like, "Well, I'm going to respond to this." And it's like you didn't have to. Like
you voice your opinions and then you expect me to just take it and say, "No, okay, you're right."
It's been working for you so far. I figured you'd catch on.
No.
All right.
Hasn't. So
talk
about it.
The thing with So Alchemist kind of got shit canned like when we had the one times camp spawning once every 2 minutes kind of thing, right? Like that was kind of on the same the same time frame. Like he got shit canned right when that happened, more or less. And like he's one of the heroes that kind of benefits the most from like having twice as many camp spawns, right? Like it's super easy to stack for him. One of the main nerfs that they did is they made the camps give 20% less experience in gold, but Alchemist, like a big part of his gold percentage that he gets is the flat gold off of his passive, right? So like if you make all the camps worth 20% less gold, proportionally the fact that like, okay, so it's 20% less for everyone else, but it's 20% less of like the creeps gold, but then the Alchemist's own contribution is still there. So like if you average it out, you know, maybe Alchemist only got nerfed by like 10% of the total gold he would get from an entire camp, because, you know, one thing's nerfed, the other half of it is just untouched, so, you know, averages out or something. So I think he's like, he has a place where he can be good. It's like that kind of uncharted territory where like maybe the hero's just shit, and unless something crazy happens, he's still just going to be shit. But if he's not, if he's like potentially okay, then this is terrifying to me, and I'm like upset. Because the way that Dota 2 works now is you get gold by just like incidentally existing, and not dying. And Alchemist can do that, but then also have like this weird other way to get gold through like skills and these crazy bounty rune multipliers and shit. And like the bounty runes felt like brutal before they changed it from 2 to 2.5. So I don't know. Like it's probably gonna get stupid. I mean, this hero like disappears and then just kind of comes back, and then everyone plays him. So I'm pretty sure that's just like gonna happen, especially because they just nerfed every other good mid.
Yeah, that also is a recurring theme of this patch. Yeah, I hope Alchemist doesn't come back, but we'll see. He does have a way of, like you said, rearing his ugly head, or his heads, periodically.
Yeah, their heads, I guess, at that point, right?
Yeah, Arc Warden. Turn rate improved from 0.4 to 0.6.
Yeah, this hero's back.
Yeah, officially? It actually does make a difference.
Yeah, it does. Like, Arc Warden, you actually turn around a shit ton on this hero. I'm not sure if you're aware of how often, but it's like, you know that song's like, every time I look around. That second voice is actually Arc Warden's, like, little double guy.
I don't know that song, but I'll take your word for it. I've also literally never played Arc Warden.
You're making me crazy. It's that song? You know that one.
Maybe.
Time I look around. Yeah, that's Arc Warden and his double. So like he actually does. He turns like just anytime you want to place those mines, like you're just fucking turning all day, and you have so many active items and stuff, and maybe you're gonna get a Hurricane Pike and you turn around for that. There's just like a lot of turning going on in that dude's life. So it feels good. Turn rates are one of those things that you really don't think about too much, but as soon as you get it, like kiting gets easier. A big thing that you do on Arc Warden is like, you know, someone's like chasing me or something, or I want to check if someone's behind me, so I'll place a mine to like, you know, right behind me or to the left where there's like a choke point to see if someone's coming in. But as soon as you just like get a little bit of extra time, like you do things so quickly on that hero, like place one mine, tab, place another mine, in 2 seconds my other mine is up, and then I'm trying to get, you know, this, you know, whatever out. Mm-hmm. So if I'm just like getting a little bit of time in between moving all my units around so frantically and casting spells, like that can go up in efficiency like majorly, I think. Anyways, anyway, it feels good, and I think there may be space for this hero. I don't know. I still don't know if he's safe lane or safe lane or mid. Most people are saying safe lane these days, but I don't know, man. Hero's fucking weird.
Yeah, he also needs a lot of levels for a safe lane, so you have to pick very specific supports.
Yeah. I mean, you get Midas, but yeah, like he's super bizarre. Anyway, I mean, I think he might be good. I mean, the jury's just fucking out, dude. Like, if you like him, play him, and let me know if he's good or not. Like, I like him, but I don't play him in rank because I just don't fucking know. I can't. Sure, like I see him do well, but then I'm like, was it the Arc Warden? Was it everything else about the game? Would another hero? Like, I just don't know. He's such an enigma. He's like tall, dark, and X Factors.
Okay, you know I mean? next change. Bat Rider, Flaming Lasso cooldown increased by 10 at all levels. Or no, 10 at level 1. See, now I'm trying to do it your way, and it just doesn't work. It used to be 90, 75, 60, now it's 180, 60. That's worse at level 1, worse at level 2, and the same at level 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about this change, honestly. I feel like this is a super minimal nerf.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds worse at, you know, at level 6, and then you don't really notice it.
Yep. Brewmaster, his fire spirit, when he ults, health increased by 100, so it's now 1300, and his talents were changed. His talent used to be 30 attack speed, now it's 30 damage, and his level 25 talent used to be 120 damage, but now it's 140 attack speed. So basically now you can go a super high attack speed, high damage build in the late game. Yeah, that's it.
It's like Yeah, I mean, like, attack speed is easier to come by than damage, so that seems like a nerf.
I suppose, but it allows him to build more damage items. Maybe.
No, but also the damage would allow him to build more attack speed items. It like goes either way.
Yeah, and he was already building attack speed items. Like you'd commonly see like AC.
Yeah, or like other things, but like what damage item is he gonna get? Like radiance? I don't fucking like what.
Yeah, I mean, so people have talked about doing these like battle brewmaster builds where you have
Dude, he has
abyssal
crit.
and
he's got crit.
Yeah,
you know,
but people don't do it.
I want to do it.
I mean, people don't play brewmaster too.
That's the other.
Maybe that's why people don't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a bizarre ass change, and I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, he's in a weird place, and I don't like. If I'm not picking him, this does not induce me to start being like, "Oh man, let's pick brewmaster."
Yeah,
that's kind of my official stance.
It kind of makes me think he's a little bit better at level 10 because like he can do damage or something, but also like fucking whatever.
Yeah, agreed. Also, like the 30 damage does carry over into the crit. So like if you're just getting like a couple crits off compared to like
because it's the crit is like, I mean, it's a percentage crit, right? But there's the one guaranteed crit that you get that's not like, it's kind of like the bounty hunter crit thing.
Exactly, yeah. Broodmother, level 20 right talent, used to be plus 12 attack spiders damage, now it's plus 14. Nobody cares about this.
No one gives a fuck about you.
Bristleback, base attack damage reduced by 4. It used to be 48 to 58, now it's 44 to 54.
Yeah, fuck him. His damage is less, now he can't be a mid as much.
Yup. No spoilers, but they did not nerf Solar Crest, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, they don't. So they didn't, rather. So they didn't nerf any item that Bristleback builds, except, what, Halberd? It changed. They nerfed a little.
They did nerf Halberd a little bit.
But, like, Bristleback's still incredibly strong. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Brittlebud is still Buttle Brit. Like, if we're being honest here, that's who he is, and that's who he will remain to be. But he can't, like... They did kind of nerf the like, Bristleback, he'll be safe land, he'll be off land, he'll be mid, you know, whatever. Like, he's not as good a mid now because you can't compete for CS quite as easily. So that's good. Yeah,
especially because he doesn't build any damage item early. Like a lot of these weak damage heroes in mid lane, they build like Sniper builds a Wraith Band, or people build Null Talismans on Invoker, stuff like this. Bristleback doesn't do that, right? So he doesn't have the supplement to his low damage.
Yeah,
so that'll make a difference.
I mean, you could go like just
like Bracer.
And I was gonna go like you could go like Stout Quelling, like Dragon Knight and stuff too, but I think you just go Poor Man's Shield, which doesn't give you any damage, and you definitely do need the Poor Man's Shield.
So I think still Bristleback's still quite good, but this is a welcome nerf at the very least.
I think is the consensus.
Agreed. Chen, Hand of God heal has been increased by 50 at level 3. I'm really trying hard to do this like you want me to, Proud, and it's just not working. I don't do the math fast enough.
Yeah, okay. Well, and I mean, the point being, it's same at
better
level
than
6,
Hal.
25 better at 12, and it's 50 whole heals better at the third point. Great.
Yeah,
it's better than Howl now. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason that this happens, because they were like, you know what?
They actually gave it a 25-point buff last patch that made it better than Howl. This makes
we made fun of it on our show. They're like, wow, now it's 25 points better than Howl at night, but now we have to be like, shit, that's actually like almost 25% better than Howl.
Exactly. And his level 20 right talent has been increased by 30 GPM, so now he has a 120 GPM talent, a la Enigma and many other heroes that have the 120 GPM talent.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, I mean, 30 more GPM, whatever.
Hero fucking sucks, dude. Chen is shit. Fuck that hero.
Yeah, honestly, I'm inclined to agree.
I'm cursing a lot, buddy. I was trying to cut it down, but like, I don't like... Fuck, like, Chen's so fucking awful. Anytime someone picks Chen in a pub, I'm like, what? Who the fuck do you think you are, dude? Like, they have a jungle Legion, we have a jungle Chen. Like, I know you think you're gonna be helpful, but
you're
at
not.
some point, like, you're gonna help us push it tier 1, and then their Legion is gonna, like, blink initiate and then kill our carry with Blade Mail or whatever, and you're gonna have a fucking, like, Wild Wing doing a little dance, making a gust of wind, trying to take fucking Dorothy to Oz, and that just ain't gonna happen.
Agreed. Yeah, I've seen a couple good Chens in my games, and even then, I'm like, man, I wish you were just not playing that hero.
Could you just go to an Enchantress at least? Like maybe a hero that turns into a wild carry that pierces BKB. Like that sounds way better.
Yeah. Clockwork Battery Assault mana cost increased by 25. It costs 100 mana now, and his base damage was reduced by 3. So it used to be 57 to 59. Now it's 54 to 56. Again, talking about damage, what's it called? Damage ranges. If we look at Bristleback, his range was what? 10 points, whereas the Clockwork has a much superior range of only 2-point difference. And that stuff makes a real difference in lane. And this is a serious advantage of Clockwork. In that, like, you know exactly how much damage you're going to do, basically, which really helps.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really know that about a clock, but that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a nerf. Like, it's a big nerf.
More so a nerf to the roaming Clockwork that would start with just like Windlace and an Orb of Venom and Tangos and just run at people and just spam Battery Assault and Cogs. So that's going to be, I think that's affected a bit more than the more typical offlane Clock that was played more defensively, laning wise, and you're not running at people with Battery Assault.
Yeah, and you would get Cogs at level 1 and stuff like that. So I'd agree, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a nice small nerf. It'll be noticeable too. Like 3 base damage really is noticeable in the early game, especially like if you're getting harassed and punched away with like, the Clockwork. It's a nice change. Cool. Next hero, Darkseer, another offlaner change. Bristleback and Clockwork, and now Darkseer. Darkseer Surge cooldown increased by 1 at all levels, so super minor change.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Sure.
Yeah, whatever. Enchantress, Nature's Attendance mana cost reduced by, so now it's 125 at all levels. It used to scale upwards, now it does not. And so if we needed more reasons to pick Enchantress instead of Chen, we've got them. Nature's Attendance, the ultimate heal, is even better.
Yeah, is that better than Howl?
Well, I think it depends, I suppose, how close you are to people and all that. Yeah, it's definitely better than Howl if you're like next to one person.
Like one person, yeah.
Yeah, or like 2 people probably. I actually don't know exactly how it maths out to like the total healing.
It may not be quite as good as Howl, but it's still decent. And it's not her ultimate slot, so we can't give her that much shit for it.
Yeah, and she could do it any time. She doesn't need it to be nighttime. So
right, that's true. Well, you have a Night Stalker in your team every game now, so that's not really
Oh, that's true too. That's a good point. Every game I'm playing, I was playing on stream, I was playing 4, and the second I picked a hero, somebody said, oh, you should have picked Night Stalker. And I was like, you're right. I should just always pick Night Stalker. And hero's so fun, but I just, for some reason, I skip over him. Yeah, similarly to how he was skipped over in this patch. Just kidding, he's nerfed later. All right, Io. Spirits, mana cost increased to 150 at each level. So an Io nerf, something, I guess they're nerfing Io in preparation for TI, where all the Io comes out every year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pretty minor nerf though, especially just, I suppose, like farming an Io in the jungle or whatever. I don't know how this is widely applicable, but it'll make a difference. Also, he got nerfed last patch, didn't he? They made it so the drain is more.
Overcharge drains you faster. And I think they did something to tether.
Maybe. Yeah, either way, we don't play IO here. We're purists. Legion Commander, press the attack cast range reduced by 100, so she has 700
kind of a bizarre
range.
Change. I really didn't see this one coming, I'm be honest with you.
I agree. I mean, press attack is an amazing ability. Like, it's a hard dispel, which is hard to come by, no pun intended. And actually, it's not that hard to come by, but it's a very, very good ability.
It's pretty hard. I mean, like, okay, let's get the hardness scale going. So how many heroes got one?
Abaddon.
Yeah.
Legion Commander.
All right. Oracle's ulti.
Oracle ulti. I need to pull up my hero list.
Yeah.
Oracle ulti.
I mean, Tusk Manta on himself, I guess. Manta's not a hard dispel, buddy. I cannot break out of stun with a Manta. I cannot break you out of stun with my Manta. Oh, that's true.
I wasn't thinking about stuns. I was thinking about everything else.
Yeah, that's a soft dispel, bucko. Yeah, like Tide can hard dispel himself by taking a bunch of Damahe. I think that's it.
I think you're right. Yeah, nothing else is coming to mind. It is hard to come by. You're right.
You can't like repel someone out of arrow or anything like that. Like, just think of anything that breaks arrow, basically.
Yeah.
We're on arrow. I think that's it. I mean, Ursa can do it
I was about to say Tusk Snowball. Does it actually dispel, or does it just eat down the timer?
It just puts you in a little ball, and you have to tickle Tusk's chest or something.
Well, no, but I mean, that's the payment for the ride.
Yeah, that's what fuels him. It goes faster when you're in it, and that's not because like adding a body is not going to make the snowball like go laterally faster. It's you tickle his belly and it fuels him, and he's able to go much faster.
I can't argue with that. That's for sure. So it is a nerf. It's whatever. Especially like late game where Legion becomes this like utility hero where it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna purge everybody constantly.
Yeah,
Pretty
and then
nice.
duel some motherfucker and then get a free kill with my blade mail because that item's fucking stupid.
Yeah, agreed. Blade mail, what an item. Leshrac.
Stupid for idiots. Okay, what about Leshrac though?
Leshrac, level 15 talent used to be 10 magic resistance. Now it's 15% magic
Thank
resistance.
God. That if anything has been wrong with Leshrac, is I think that his level 15 talent did not give enough magic resistance.
And they buff Pulse Nova by 10 damage at level 2 and 20 damage at level 3.
Cool.
So
Used to go from 100 to 160. Now it goes from 100 to 180.
Yep, it used to be. So I would say these don't, like you joked about, these do not solve the problems of poor Leshrac. But, you know, it's always nice to have buffs. I don't think anybody is crying about buffs. They may just be crying because, you know, the hero still is super squishy and has long cast animations and various other problems.
Level with the Leshrac players out there. Like when Lone Druid was shit and he kept getting these like minor buffs that did nothing, I was like, this was my chance. This was your chance to fix my fucking hero. And then here I sit with this goddamn weird-ass battle cry that they eventually overbuffed and then had to nerf. So we're just going to get, like, Pulse Nova doing 400 damage a tick, and then Leshrac players will be like, this isn't what I wanted.
Well, thank you anyway.
And then it'll get nerfed. Yeah, basically. Okay.
Lifestealer. Strength gain reduced by 0.2, so that's like, what, 2 less strength at eventually?
Eventually there will be less strength on this hero after you level up a few times. But I feel like Lifestealer kind of sucks. I feel like he's a bad one.
I feel like he's okay. I don't think he's great, but I don't think he's weak.
He's pretty shitty, I think. I think he's a bad one.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, this change does not matter to me at all. Like, you have 40 less health at level 20. Oh, no. Good game.
Aww.
Lena, changes that actually I do care about. Well, not that much. Dragon Slave damage reduced. It used to be 110 scaling to 320. Now it is 85 scaling to 310. See, Proud, is that how you prefer it?
Yeah, that was good.
All right, sick. So it is actually significantly worse at level 1, but then it evens out after that.
25 damage less. It's crazy.
It does make the difference. The only counterpoint to that is that you use Dragon Slave to outdamage the enemy mid with the ranged creep on the first few waves, and almost no mid except for like Tiny is going to be dealing 85 or more damage. So you're still going to be killing that ranged creep with your Dragon Slave.
In general, yeah, but the window is a lot smaller for it. Like it used to be, like it will take the enemy hero like straight up like 2 hits, even if your ranged creep doesn't attack. It's still like your ranged creep plus an enemy right click plus an enemy right click. But now it's just like it's like the window is just a lot smaller now.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it is like undeniably a nerf, but I think this is not like, I'm not crying over my pillow. Like this is not.
Well, I'm very happy because I don't play Lena, and I think this is a big ass nerf.
Yeah, it's a nerf.
The fucking spill damage I take whenever you CS with that thing, and I'm like, whoop, guess I take a bunch of damage now. It's great.
Yeah, it's a good ability. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Holy, damn! I didn't see this level 25 nerf.
Yeah, the level 25 nerf. I mean, this is what we said when this got introduced. When I said this was OP, so I'm. As much as like I don't want this hero to be nerfed because I like her, it is unexpected. Like if you go back to whatever was the 7.00 or whenever this was put in changes, like this isn't a nerf that I expected and said should happen because this is kind of ridiculous. But now Fiery Soul, it gives you 35 attack speed and 3% movement speed at per stack at level 25. And it used to be 40 attack speed, 4% movement speed, so she's not going to be moving around quite as fast, but I'm fairly certain you'll still be max movement speed if you have BOTs. But if you have brown boots, which you're level 25, you don't have brown boots. Like, I don't know what game you're playing if you have brown boots at 25. This, whatever. Honestly,
what if I slow you with Orb of Venom, then you won't be max move speed anymore now.
Yeah, and then I'll just die. The game will be lost. So
die.
These are nerfs. Honestly, like as much as I like playing Lena, these are welcome nerfs. Like the hero is not OP anymore, but she was definitely still a top tier mid, notably because of her strength in lane with Dragon Slave and her 25 talent being so good transitioning her from a like utility damage, like magic damage, pure damage core into a physical damage core. Like what was that game? It was some mid player. I think it might have been like Anna or somebody else. Maybe it was Miracle. They sold like a 30 charge Bloodstone and then went Scotty, Desolator, Hurricane Pike all at like 80 minutes in a super long game on Alina when they hit 25, and they just dominated and they just killed the base. because they had 1,000 attack speed and 1,000 movement speed, so they were uncatchable with Fiery Soul, and it was pretty
actually really good stats to have.
Yeah, turns out. All right, Luna, next hero, level 10 talent. Used to be 15 MS, now it's 20 MS.
Nice.
And our level 20
I take
talent.
That talent, dude. The other option is like 15 damage. Like, fuck, are you shitting me? I don't give. This sucks.
Yeah.
Every hero is fast now. You know what Luna gets? She gets treads and a manta. Like, yeah, she's fast, but she goes to like 380 move speed. It's not enough, Sam.
Yeah, that's not very fast.
Yeah, like she starts with 330. You know why? Because she needs it. She deserves it. You don't cap out at 380. No siree, Bob. No, I want that plus 20, and then that'll scale with my Yasha and my Mask of Madness. Yeah, so I get that plus 20 move speed. Like, I'll take a move speed over a damage. That sounds great.
Yeah, and her level 20 talent used to be 10% magic resist, now it's 15%, so she got the Leshrac treatment. Nice.
So, dude, can you imagine taking 10% magic resistance at level 20? Like, of all fucking things, why would anyone
not a lot.
That's not a cloak. Like, that's less than a 500 gold item for level 20.
Yeah, that's not a lot. It's not a lot.
That's one of those talents that like no one got, and Valve was just like, let's just focus on something else right now. Like, we don't need, this is fine. People don't get it. It's okay.
All right, Lycan, howl cooldown increased from 55
Doesn't matter.
to
Next
40.
change.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds difference.
5 more seconds on Howl. What do you give a shit about?
Monkey King.
You don't pay attention to your map.
Why can't I say his freaking name? Monkey King, Boundless Strike cooldown reduced by 3 seconds, so a minor buff. And Wukong's Command, which is his ult, attack interval reduced by 0.2, so it attacks faster.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can't bash though, so I'm fine with this. I don't care what you do this hero, so long as he can never bash again.
Yeah, if you could ever make it so I can play him as a core again, that would be great. I would like that. I liked when I could play this hero, and just keep that basher shit away from me.
Morphling
Dude,
B8.
you know what sucked about Monkey King is that like you build Basher on him, right? So it makes sense that you would go to Abyssal, but Abyssal is a shorter cast range than his auto attack. So you were just never in range for it. It was so fucking dumb. Like I would click to fucking Abyssal people and he just hated getting in range for you. I'd be like, okay, right click, Abyssal, and he'd be like, and then you just like do this weird auto attack thing and like dance back and forth. And he's like, I could try, but I don't think I will. And it's just the weirdest shit. Anyway, I fucking hate that hero and how it interacts with bashers historically. And we can move on now. But it's so like if your fucking auto attack range is shorter than Abyssal, like that's like when Tiny's toss range was shorter than his auto attack. That was the stupidest shit. Like I'd right click someone and then try to toss them, and then Tiny's like, "There's nothing here." I'm like, "You're fucking touching it with your tree. Grab it." Like, fuck. What are you doing?
Agreed.
Life's hard for long melee range heroes, dude.
I never noticed that with the Abyssal thing. But Abyssal is a sword, right? And then Monkey King has a stick. So yeah, stick longer than sword.
Sticks are always longer than swords, like historically.
Always. Morphling.
Have you seen swords before?
I have seen a sword before.
Shorter than a stick, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of long sticks, that's for sure.
Dude, me too.
Not many short ones. Short ones you just call Tinder. Or,
I thought you were going with some kind of innuendo, and then you brought up Tinder, and I was like, oh, but what is the joke? Like, what? This didn't really make sense.
No, I was talking about the literal Tinder.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, well, you could have gone
that one really got away from me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Let's
Morphling BAT reduced by 0.05, so his attacks a little better.
Yeah, that's I'm a big fan. Morphling's kind of weird because he's split in between a big magic bursty boy and then also being a strong physical punchy boy. But I don't know, it's cool. I like it when he auto attacks things hard. And I like Morphling. I played actually 2 games of him recently, and he feels pretty good. Like he needs help for the first 4 minutes, but then after that, once you have like 90 damage or whatever and attack fast as shit, the fact that you have 400 health doesn't really matter because the second you see someone, you just punch them in the teeth.
Yeah, that's fair. Naga cool. Siren got a 1 point of extra base HP regen,
that's
which
cool.
Especially considering she used to only have 0.5 per level, now she has 1.5. These people were joking that this was basically a patch that just buffed OG. What?
She used to have 0.5 what per level?
Oh, 0.5 health regen total at level 1. Oh, sorry,
okay.
at level 1.
Yeah, you said per level, and I was like, is she fucking
She's 1.5
like,
per level?
Yeah, she's got fucking like, I was trying to math real quick. It's like 37.5 or some shit health regen.
A
At level
lot.
25, that'd be pretty good.
It'd be like 42.5, I think. No, it wouldn't. I don't know math.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I was right.
No, it wouldn't be 30. Yeah, it would be 37, right? Yeah, because it's 12.5 and 25. Yeah, you're right.
I'm so fucking good. This is why I go to college, man.
Yep. Okay. But so this is, people are joking that this was just a series of OG buffs because they buff Naga and Alchemist.
Yeah, and Shadow Demon. Spoilers.
And Shadow Demon. I'm most excited for those, but we'll get to that later. So this is nice, but not game changing by any means. Cool. Night Stalker base int.
I do like that.
Yes.
I mean, like between the strength regen change and this, like, there's a lot of heroes that I used to be like, damn, like I want a fucking regen item on this hero. This sucks.
Yeah.
But I feel like Naga, you're just like really not gonna feel it. Like, you're not gonna need, whatever bottle or some shit quite as badly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with you. It also makes her, if you're playing 4 Naga, you can jungle a little better because she does have like 800 armor at level 1, and in between ganks and whatnot.
780.
Yeah, but she does now have, you just get an early Iron Talon PMS and you can jungle away after you do your series of ganks early. So I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Night
Stalker, or 3 less int at level 1. He only has 13 int at level 1. And Hunter in the Night, which has now recently been added as an active, the cooldown was increased. It used to be 26 scaling down to 14. Now it is 30 scaling down to 18. So it's 4 seconds longer at all levels.
Yeah, that's cool, whatever. I mean, they gave him wings for free and then he abused them, and then we have to be like, no, you can't just do that to every hero in the game for free. Like, we're gonna take a little bit of this back until you learn your lesson. And I think that's a fine way to go about it.
Yeah, I think the int change is going to be a little more noticeable because he does not. Yeah. The way I think about a lot of nerfs and changes is just, does this hero build an item that supplements what they're losing? If so, like, it's not that big a difference. But heroes that lose base int, that don't build int items for a very long time, they really suffer. Like, losing 3 int when you don't build any int items until, like, an Aghanim Scepter really sucks a lot. So this, I would say,
it's like Wand and an Urn, and that's like all the bonus int that he gets, period.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough life.
It's rough. So you'll notice this. I mean, it's gonna, occasionally you're not gonna have that second mana void. Void. What is it? Void in the night? Void?
No, it's just void.
So it'll make a difference because he doesn't have a big mana pool already. So he's just gonna suffer a little more. Yep. Nyx Assassin. Movement speed reduced by 5. Normally the 5 would go to like Enchantress or somebody, but it didn't go anywhere this patch.
It actually did go to Luna's talent.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. More for the coffers. And Ogre Magi, level 15, it's left talent, used to be 8% magic resistance, now it's 12% magic resistance. His level 20 talents used to be 250 health and 25 movement speed, now it is 350 health and 30 movement speed, so both got buffed at level 20, and one buffed at level 15. Not going to change the game drastically for Ogre Magi, but as we always say, it is nice to have buffs. Who's going to complain?
In my life.
I've said that right now.
Phantom Lancer, agility gain increased from 2.6 to 2.8. That's good. Or as Sam might say, 2.6, 5.2, 7.8, whatever.
Well, I mean, it used to be like 5.2.
It used to be, it used to be 4 at 4.2, actually.
Yeah, he had a lot of agi scaling. Now he has significantly less.
Yeah, like the way that hero scaled was actually just he gained a shit ton of damage through leveling. Now the way he scales is he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Phoenix, level 10, left talent, used to be 175 health, now it's 200 health, whatever. Doesn't build any health items, really. Although he kind of does, she kind of does, it kind of does. So maybe they'll have things.
Hey, we hit they at the end.
Yep. Puck, base armor reduced by 1, so
Hero's
Puck
gone.
has -2 base armor. What?
Doom has like -4.
Is that true? I didn't realize that Puck's was so low. Like, I knew Doom's was real bad, and like Tiny's is real bad.
Puck has never been auto-attacked in her life, or their life.
That's true.
They just phase shift everything.
Yeah, I mean, at level 1, some people don't have phase shift, though.
Yeah,
they just get zoned.
Dude, I was against an offlane Puck the other day, and a Spirit Breaker charged them, and then they phase shifted it, and then they died because they didn't have Orb, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. Offlane Puck is something of a... it's funny because now it's more popularized. People are playing it that clearly are not Puck players, and it's just kind of a mess sometimes.
Yeah.
Pugna, level 25, left talent. Used to be 150 Nether Blast damage. Now it's 200 Nether Blast damage. So, and I believe he also has a talent for what's it called
Cast range.
Cast range. So you can rat.
I knew what you were gonna say.
Yeah. Well, great minds think alike and whatnot. So you can rat from so far away with Pugna, and
I don't
it's
think
gross.
Pugna's-
I hate this hero.
I don't think it's rat at that point. It's just like fucking artillery.
Sure. I mean, artillery is like the ratting of yore.
No, it's not.
It is. It is. Trust me.
No.
Bombing raids are the original rat. Right?
No,
It makes perfect sense.
I think that's sieging. I think that's already a term, and it's called sieging.
No, if you're like fighting in one place and you're like, just kidding, I'm gonna throw my planes somewhere else.
If your
that's
army
ratting.
is like lined up in front of their castle and your trebuchets are hitting them, they're not like, God, where are these fucking rats? I can't figure it out. Like that's not really what's going on.
You know where the nature's prophet's coming from. You just can't deal with it. It's the same thing.
Actually, you don't. That's kind of why it's good, because you know he'll pop up like somewhere you're not prepared for. But like the trebuchet is like, I don't care how prepared you are. Like it's a rock and it's coming from outer space.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get into medieval ratting in another podcast.
No, you know what ratting is in medieval? It's the fucking the little ratty boys who had the plague on ships. Like that's what ratting is. And fucking rats come in and give everyone fucking.
Well, it wasn't the rats.
Cancer.
It was the fleas on rats.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the rats carried them knowingly, so I don't want to like just.
It's all a conspiracy.
Let them off the hook here.
The rats are the true enemy. Queen of Pain. Base attack damage reduced by 4. So that hurts a lot because this hero is
good now. Is there a reason that I see Pugna in all my games now? Yeah, fuck
I hope
that.
not. I hate Pugna like no other.
Doesn't deserve to be viable. Honestly, that's my strong opinion.
It's funny. It's funny because like thinking back like the years and years we've played Dota 2 and Dota 1, we have seen basically every hero at some point has been like viable or OP or just very strong and pickable. I honestly cannot think of a time in my history playing Dota 2 where Pugna was like a top tier hero.
Yeah.
Like
that's never been the case.
Thank God for that. Honestly,
there is just a certain set of heroes who just shouldn't ever be good. You know, like techies should never be a good hero. You know, like Pudge, Pudge also should never be like top tier good. Sniper, I'd also probably put in that category.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what else. Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker.
We went over Pugna. Bloodseeker. There's got to be one other stupid, like fun but also stupid thing that just should never be competitively viable. Like Viper, I don't think Viper should be a competitively viable hero. The fact that Viper is unpicked in pro games, like good. There's nothing pro about him.
Yeah. Meepo, some people would say. Or like he's just so fundamentally incredibly weird and different. But regardless,
I think that's enough.
Regardless, screw Pugna. I honestly wish like, so you know how you get like one abandon every 2 weeks where it's like, yeah, we're not going to give you low prio. I honestly, every time I pick OD and somebody picks Pugna, I just want to use my abandon. Like, all right, we're just going to call this one done. I don't care. I'm done. I've lost. I don't want to play this game. I don't want to build a BKB first item to deal with your stupid hero and his short body. Like, this is not a thing I want to deal with.
Yeah.
God. All right. Okay. Quap. Base attack damage reduced by 4.
Fuck.
Which sucks. We talk about these base damage changes. Quap's strength in lane is that she's a great attack animation and she does a boatload of damage.
Yeah, dude, like a whole boat.
A whole boat. And her level 25 spell lifesteal talent was reduced by 10%. So now it's 60%.
They just really want us to have AoE Shadow Strike, I think, is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, and still nobody's going to pick AoE Shadow Strike.
Yeah, so that nerf sucks. I played against a Queen of Pain, and it was still hard recently. Turns out Queen of Pain is really good against Arc Warden in lane. Who knew?
Huh.
She presses Q and then clicks on me, and then I'm like, stop. And then maybe like if I do manage to get my Q off on her, she just blinks into her creeps, and then she's like, all right, like fun time. And that's kind of just that. That's kind of just how the hero works. And it sucks, but that hero is good. I've been playing her. She's super fun. And I'm sad that her damage got nerfed because I moved to a new place and I have a new ping. I have a new number next to my ping number. And I was just kind of starting to get used to it. And now I have 4 less damage. And I'm not going to be used to it again. It sucks.
Razor
as he's known.
He also lost 0.2 on his agility scaling. It was donated to PL. Neither of them really care about this, though.
Yeah, the Razor one, when you go from 2 to 1.8, like, that's when I'm like, ew, like, do you even like leveling? Is this something that you're interested in anymore? Or
Probably not.
Over it.
You're just like, I'm going to be dead for longer and gain nothing. Why would I bother?
Like, get your talents and then stop.
Sand King, Caustic Finale, Expire damage has been reduced. It used to be 45 scaling to 110. Now it is 20 scaling to 110. So that is when you don't actually blow up the person, but they just take damage running away.
Yeah.
And I really noticed this nerf. I played a 4-position Sand King game the other day, and I thought I was going to be getting kills because I just forgot about this nerf. And then I'd be like, what the heck? Why is this person not dead? They had 50 health. This is why. So this is a significant nerf for the roaming, annoying Sand King, or even the offlane, like, punching people Sand King.
Yeah. Okay.
Shadow Demon.
It's pretty crazy.
Shadow Demon buffs.
I think it's more like an offlane Sand King nerf, in my opinion, because, like, a lot of the times when I'm, fighting against a Sand King in the offlane, he's just gonna, like, walk up and, touch me with his big meaty claws, and then I'm gonna take 45 damage for no fucking reason. And now it's, like, less than half that. That's a big deal, dude.
I mean, it's definitely a big deal for both, but I would say, like, when I'm playing offlane Sand King, I find that I'm killing creeps more often, whereas if I'm playing a roaming Sand King, I'm rarely killing a creep with Caustic. I am just, like going mid and slapping an Invoker over and over.
I guess so.
Yeah. I feel like, regardless, it's a nerf.
You're probably right.
Shadow Demon, the true winner of this patch. Base strength increased by 2, so 40 extra health at level 1, and a bit of HP regen.
Oh boy.
And Demonic Purge cooldown was reduced from 50 to 40. So that's his ult. And it makes, like he said, it's a big deal. I'm very excited. Like, Shadow Demon got super, super nerfed, and now, understandably so, like, he was stupid overpowered before. But now I can actually, like, kind of want to play as hero again. Like, I really like Shadow Demon. He's fun.
Yeah, I also do really like Shadow Demon, and I love his ags. I just want to get his ags all the time.
That's a hard purge.
How does that interact with his...
no, it's not.
It doesn't. You don't use it to save your teammates, you idiot.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking dumb.
Kidding. I'm kidding.
It's fucking stupid.
I'm kidding.
No. Okay.
All right. It's great, though.
So how does this interact with his Aghanim Skleptor?
It just means you build your charges at 40 seconds into 50 seconds.
Okay, yeah. Sector charge restore time is 40. Did it used to be 50? Or I thought it was 40 before.
I'm pretty sure it just works off of the cooldown of the thing. I don't think the Ags changes the cooldown.
But I'm not sure. I wish I could go back in time.
Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities.
Where it went wrong.
Yep. Sniper has received changes. He has received 0.2 more agi scaling. The ultimate change of the patch, dude.
I've been really looking for that.
Yep, that's what he needs.
Yeah.
Spectre, base strength increased by 1, 20 extra health, a little more HP regen, and our level 15 talent.
Like, the stat gains are a big deal, buddy. Fucking brush that shit off.
All right, let's talk about Sniper's 0.2 additional agi gain.
Well, it's gonna matter.
Okay, that's fair. You got me there. 2 more. Yeah. It's like a fourth of an armor. That's big.
It's like a whole 2 more at level
20.
Well, what?
Okay, let's move on.
No, if it's 0.2, it's 2 more at level 10, dude. 1 more agi at level 5? That's like... Dude, okay, so they took like 2 agi off Dragonlance and people were like, fucking dead item.
Well, because they did that after also removing like 4 agi the previous patch and 3 agi the other time and then 4 more agi the next time.
Yeah, well, that can similarly be describing Sniper leveling up in a compounding fashion.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. These changes they don't change my mental math where I'm like, do I pick Sniper versus OD? I'm not going to be like, I wasn't going to before. Now I am like.
Yeah, no, these aren't transformative changes. I do agree with that.
It is like there are cumulative over the course of like a year's worth of patches. If a hero receives these small things, like it does add up. But in the immediate future, I'm not going to drastically change my opinion of Sniper based on 2 more
Okay,
agi.
fine. Whatever.
Spectre, base strength increased by 1. A little more health, a little more HP regen, and her level 15 talent used to be 20 movement speed, now it's 25. I don't know what the alternative is.
It's like 400 health, and the other one is like 200 strength, or 20 strength or something, so they're both 400 health and stupid and shitty.
Yeah, Spectre's way tanky, way good. I'm a big Spectre fan at the moment.
No, Spectre's good. I just hate how goddamn fucking boring your talents are. Like, Spectre is a cool hero. There's a lot of cool design going on with that nice ghostly lady. But her talents are like, you get health, and then the health, but we called it a different name, but it's health. And it's the same number. Like, what?
Yeah.
it's pretty stupid. Like whoever came up with that was definitely not in a creative writing class or something.
It's funny. I was literally about to say that. That's some synergy right there.
That. Yeah,
some synergy. Sven changes. Warcry cooldown increased by 2 at all levels. So yes, whatever.
I mean, it's pretty rough, honestly. Like Sven is incredibly dependent on work right now. Like the old Sven, you think of Sven, you're like, no, boy's got a lot of armor on him, doesn't he? But he doesn't anymore. Like, where does he get armor from? His E, and that's it. That's the only fucking thing. And then you get AC down the line. But like, people don't build armor on Sven for the most part. I don't really do that anymore. I used to. I kind of stopped.
People still build S and Y. You get a few armor from that.
No, it's mostly Echo. S and Y it takes way too long for what it does. I mean, they buffed it in that it's 200 gold cheaper now after they changed Yasha and Sanj Sanj or whatever. But it takes too long. And his base attack time is now got nerfed, so the Echo is a bit nicer, and like you really need the blink as fast as possible. And like you just can't farm the S and Y fast enough, in my humble opinion. But yeah, most people are going Madness Echo these days. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. Like, I'm really, like, a lot of my Sven play, like a shitty Sven, the way you're going to play Sven is you're just going to, like, press E when you want to go fast, which is all the time, so you're just going to be like, okay, and you're just going to be, like, screaming the whole time you're playing. But that's not how you actually play Sven. Like, you have to, honestly, very judiciously be pressing your E key on your keyboard. And this is a slight nerf to that, so I'm kind of pissed. Like, Sven's actually not that good right now, I don't think. Like, he's good, but he's not... Yeah, there's fucking Venomancers and shit wiggling about. I don't want to be Sven. It's scary.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Tiny has received changes. These are a bit more exciting for y'all, for you Tiny players, specifically you and Skrunk.
Yeah.
Tiny, Toss can now throw units to spell immune enemies. It does... Does it do
change.
Physical damage or magical damage? It does magical damage, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's not like you're going to damage people. It's just like, oh, well, you can throw somebody at a like repelled person or a BKB person.
The only interesting part of this is if a BK bead or like Nake's like raging or whatever is next to my buns, I can toss him up in the air on himself, and I don't need another target to toss him to. So it's like like a 1 second stun or whatever through BKB if it needs to be.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Whatever. I don't find this tremendously exciting.
Yeah, I don't give a shit either.
Venomancer, 0.25 less strength gain. It's just a small reduction.
Yeah, we started having fun with Venomancer, and then they were like, you gotta stop.
Yeah, they listened to the episode, and they're like, yo, you're done. You quit it.
This is the qualifiers was just like, hey, you know what? We can play Venomancer and run these kind of weird teams with like TA mostly, and they were like Shadow Fiend or something, then like a Veno carry. Like, that's kind of cool. And Valve was like, that's not what we want you to do with this hero. Get out of, just stop it. And now we have to stop. So like, okay, I get it. Like, I won't do it again. I'm sorry.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, Venomancer's still good right now, like undeniably, right? We're still seeing him in qualifier matches, and we're still going to be seeing him.
Yeah, but
moving forward,
like you should respect what like Ice Frog is telling us, like.
Oh yeah, he's. I won't be picking him. I'm not going to be sacrilegious like that.
Ice Frog said no. Like, okay, that's enough for me. But I don't know. You get a lot of these like really egotistical and like self-righteous people who think that they know better and that it's like okay to do these things that Ice Frog pretty blatantly told us not to, and it's just like no wonder the community's gone to shit. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, some people just like rebellion too much. It's what is that? No, never mind. I was gonna say 8th grader syndrome, Chunibyo, but that's different.
Yeah, no, I don't actually think that 8's a number.
Okay, that's fair. Ice Frog also has said historically that 8 is not a number to take into consideration.
Well, the game's at 706 right now, right? So
yeah, and nobody has 8 scaling on any stat. So like, who's to say? Visage changes. Grave Chill mana cost reduced by 10. So cool. You now get to cost more Grave Chills, because the one thing that I needed in my life was more buffs to mid Visage for Gothier to talk about.
Yeah. Dude, I honestly think it's a pretty big deal, because Visage, I think is the way. Visage? Yeah. Something like that.
Visage.
Is it Visage?
Yeah, Visage.
Visage, I think. Visage, I think it is. Anyway,
okay, let's move on.
No, so, I mean, he burns through mana like a motherfucker. Like, look at his
doesn't
soul
build
assumption.
any mana items either.
You know what happens when you soul assumption? You make an ass out of me and your mana pool, or whatever. It's 170 manas.
It's a lot.
That's what. It's a lot of mana, and you use it every 4 seconds. Like, it's a lot. And Grave Chill's the skill you get at level 1, so obviously 10 mana matters more then. And the way that you normally play, like, the way Soul Assumption works is it's like after the damage happens. So the way a lot of your engagements on Visage work are you start off with a Grave Chill, and then if it doesn't come of anything, like, okay, I'll back off. So like you're using a lot of like initiate-y kind of Grave Chills, like a lot of tests. You poke out a Grave Chill, and then if it works, you're gonna toss some Soul Assumptions. But like the thing that you get from that is like I'm gonna be casting a lot more Grave Chills than you would really think. Like I'm gonna be casting more Grave Chills than I do have engagements. So like if I keep testing the waters with my Grave Chills, I'm gonna be able to do that a bit more with this extra mana.
Yeah, I agree. Wind Ranger. Great. Wind Run, mana cost reduced by 15, so now she can cast mana. Jesus Christ, can cast Wind Run at 60 mana, which is not a lot of mana.
Yeah, it's like less than a lot of numbers actually.
It's less than Grave Chill by 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've played Wind Ranger recently, and I've had fun on the hero, and I feel like she's a little weak right now relative to like other midlanders especially, and then as a support she just does weird things, and sometimes it's okay and most of the time it's not.
Yeah.
And as an offlaner, you just like have a bad time most of the time.
Yeah, you don't really do anything. That hero doesn't. I mean, she does things, but not reliably. She doesn't do the things you need her to do as anything besides a mid. And then as a mid, she's not Lena or Puck or Quap. I'm pretty sure. She's not those heroes.
Pretty sure. It depends on the game.
She's just fucking annoying, dude.
She's just in a weird place right now, I think.
Well, Annoying Town, which is a weird place, believe it or not.
Yeah, agreed.
He fucking turns invisible and makes me build MKB and shit. What the fuck?
Agreed.
Yeah, here.
More reasons to build them. Dude, I mean, but you're already building MKB because there's going to be like 6 Solar Crests on every team.
Yeah, well,
so,
and also
and all those evasion
fucking Heaven's
talents.
Halberds on every goddamn human that's ever existed.
Yep.
And a Radiance now on the Bloodseeker that we're not going to play this week.
Yeah. And Winter Wyvern has been buffed again. My hero, my mom, Winter Wyvern, has been buffed again because that's what we all needed. We all needed Winter Wyvern buffs. Cold Embrace was increased with its base HP regen by 5.
Can we change this to Chili Hug?
No. It's a serious ability for serious gamers. That's why it's Cold Embrace. All right.
No, I was wrong then. I thought that was not the case, but indeed you're correct that it is the case. So we will not change the name to Chili Hug today.
Yeah, I don't appreciate you infantilizing my mom like that. All right?
I'm infantilizing you, okay?
That's different, all right?
I know that it's different. That's why I made the distinction.
Yeah, so you're going to be getting like 25 more health or something, 50 more health cumulatively, depending on the level of the ability. Yeah, you are. And let's see, how long does it last?
It's not depending on the ability. I just wanted to disagree with you, but so it's what, 5 more per second, and it lasts 4 seconds? That's 25, yeah.
Yes, yeah, it lasts 4 seconds or 5 seconds once you talent it, but you never pick the talent.
Yeah, so you get 20 more health. Yeah, that's a big old number.
Yeah,
that's more like
it's 2 wand charges.
Game change. Yeah, well, no.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. Wand charges are 15.
Yeah, but I mean stick charges.
Stick charges are 15.
Aren't stick charges 10 and then wand charges are 15?
No, the cap goes up from 10 to 17, but the
I know
individual
that.
charges give you 15 at all. Yeah.
Okay. Magic wand charges gives you 15 per charge. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both give you 15 per charge. All right.
Fine with you publicly owning yourself live on camera.
I mean, I'm just making sure, dude. I got to educate myself, and everybody else gets educated in the
podcast.
Everybody else gets educated in the process.
Fucking owned live.
Dude, it's I admit my foibles. I just got excited to use the word foibles, I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, that was a good word.
Bloodthorn. So we've gotten through all the hero changes. Nobody changed Zeus this time. So what would you say like what would you say like actually we'll do the items and then we'll generalize and finish off. So items, Bloodthorn, Soul Rend, which is the active, critical strike damage reduced by 5%, so it used to be 145, now it's 140. This is not a change that literally anybody will ever notice in their entire life.
I will. You piece of shit.
Yeah, 5% damage on crits.
Yeah.
from everybody. Ugh, I mean, I guess so.
Dude, well, that's a big. It went from like 140 to, or 145 to 140. Dude. You ever played Dota? It's a game of small numerical differences, and like if I'm Sven and I'm critting for like, 1,000 fucking 100 instead of 1,200, that's a difference. I mean, I'm not ever gonna crit that much.
That's also not the 5% difference.
It's like close.
No, it'd be like 20 damage or something.
No, it's close.
I guess like maybe once in a while somebody will get away.
I hate Bloodthorn and I like Daedalus, and I have almost stopped building Bloodthorn on Sven and a couple other heroes just because Daedalus is so fucking. No, dude, Daedalus is so fucking good. Like, I don't even care about evasion anymore. You know what I've taken to doing about evasion? I just fucking play Sven and hit creeps and I cleave. I don't give a shit. Like, you can evade all you want. I'm making shockwaves come out of my like large overcompensation, and it's just gonna and you're gonna take damage and it's gonna give a shit about you. And I get Daedalus and I just punch creeps, and then the spill damage kills everything.
Yeah, maybe that's how we conquer the plague of evasion on Dota 2, is we just ignore it entirely, and we just say, we're refused.
That's what I do against Battle Fury, or not Battle Fury, Phantom Assassin. I just don't build MK, I just kill her anyway, so she's gonna dodge half my attacks, like I only need half my attacks.
I need to attack twice as much.
Yeah,
only need half.
Yeah, I only need half, like, fuck it, whatever, and then her BKB's out, and like, let Crystal Maiden kill her. Like, press W, click on her, she's fucking dead.
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, I hate Bloodthorn and nerf it as much as possible so I can go back to buying Daedalus.
Heaven's Halberd. Disarm duration on ranged heroes has been reduced by 0.5. So it used to be 5.5, now it's 5 seconds.
Cool.
Yeah,
dude, Heaven's Halberd is fucking absurd. Like,
it's real good. People have finally wised up to buying it.
Yeah, and I don't like it. Like, there are a lot of these items where people are like, oh, why is this item not, like, why isn't this hero good? Why isn't this viable? Or it's like, because Dota is balanced around it not being viable. Like, don't do that. Like,
yeah.
All the evasion items were, like, not that great, and then they buffed them, and now this is an evasion hellscape that I hate. That wasn't good.
Would you say that Heaven's Halberd is the Pugna of items?
Yeah, I would certainly say that. That is a statement I will stand by.
Agreed.
Atos is like the Skywrath of items.
God, dude, we are so in sync. I was literally gonna say Skywrath if you didn't say anything.
Because normally you get Atos, like Skywrath is a very common Atos hero, so that's why
I know.
It kind of came. But anyway, no, that's good.
It makes sense though.
Like they're both like good. People like them. They don't really pick them. They're like, no, this is good, and it's good in this situation, and it's underutilized, but they won't utilize it.
So our last change is that Veil of Discord recipe cost has increased by 100, which I would say is mostly just like not a large nerf, but it is noticeable money-wise.
It's pretty big, man. For your first item, like 100 jigglies.
It makes a difference.
100 go-go goldos.
Yeah, I notice it all the time on like Yule's Scepter when they made those. Like it used to be It used to be like super cheap. Then they gradually increased it by like 100 gold a few times. Every 100 gold, like it makes a difference, right? That's like occasionally that's a difference of like 20 seconds on an item, which then affects your ability to kill somebody because you know you don't get it in one creep wave, so now you need to get it in the next one, and then by the next one, like they've salved up or they've done X, Y, or Z. But it does like 100 gold does not sound like a lot, but yet thinking timing wise, it does make a real difference.
Yeah, and considering like everyone's GPM is way lower at the beginning stages of games, and this is an item that you get at the beginning, and then also gold just doesn't happen to people anymore. It's just not a thing that we get.
Unless you're alchemist.
To have it. Yeah, unless you're alchemist, and you find a bounty rune. Yeah, you just don't get 100 gold. That's like 30 seconds sometimes.
Yeah,
30 seconds can be the difference between life or death in Dota 2.
Yeah, especially if you're one of these supports that builds Veil, like Skywrath, or like Jakiro that build Veil.
Yeah, I guess that happens.
Like, it slows you down even more. So,
Yeah, I mean, this is just another, like, they didn't have quite as crazy nerfs to, like, Puck, and I think Quap's nerfs were pretty big, but it's just laying another fucking log on the pyre that is my love of playing Queen of Pain.
Yeah. So, would you say, just to generalize, would you say this patch was more buffs and more nerfs, or more buffs?
Sam, you know me. I'm a man of few words.
Okay. So you don't have an answer? Okay.
No,
That's
well,
fair.
all right. I was building up. I'm a man of few words, and you cut me off.
Okay.
So, in conclusion, nerf is. It was nerfs.
So I'm reading the list and seeing. So there's 19 heroes that were nerfed. Let's see how many heroes were buffed.
This is great content, man.
21 heroes were buffed. So numerically, more heroes were buffed. I will say this.
What a worthless statistic.
I was absolutely worthless. Thank you. I will say, watching or reading through this patch, I didn't think it was significant at first when I first read it. That's why we didn't even bother putting out a special patch notes episode.
Yeah. Can you read my exact comment that I said when you asked me if I wanted to do a show?
Yeah, let's find it. Let's see. You said
it wasn't that. Okay, I thought this was more rude.
Yeah, I said, hey, do we want to put out a Tuesday patch notes review or just cover it on Theorycrafting Thursday? Proud responds on Sunday. Honestly, it's so insignificant and uninteresting. We can just cover it later. And then here we are recording Wednesday.
Well,
and
I asked you if you wanted to record later, and you were like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I didn't follow up because I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, and then now here we are 1 hour and 11 minutes in, and there's actually a lot of fun stuff to talk about for this podcast, for this patch, rather.
I think it's just more that you're just such a fun person to spend time with than the patch.
I get that a lot. Thank you.
I don't think that's true, but okay.
Okay, so we're
sorry,
done.
I forgot you're trying to do this like on mic persona thing now. You're super fun.
Yep. We are complete. I mean, I'm happy with this patch.
What do you think? What do you think about it, buddy? Like, you got any hot takes?
I don't have any hot takes. I think these were a lot of small changes. I mean,
the mid pool opened up. That's really all I'm getting from this.
Yeah, I mean, really, all I like, literally, all right, so the first time I read these patch notes, all I did was say, like, I ignored basically everything. I said, all right, there's Lena nerfs that are small, there's Winter Wyvern buffs that are big, and that's all I care about. Because Winter Wyvern has been buffed, like, 4 patches in a row, and I love this hero. Now. And she's quickly coming from being a, like, situational pick into being, like, when you'd pick her against, like, oh, they have a bunch of melee heroes or a bunch of physical damage cores or whatever. Now it's like, all right, we're going to pick Winter Wyvern, and it's going to work. And if it doesn't, it's my teammate's fault. And that's my official prerogative with Winter Wyvern.
Yes, it kind of like how she was in the in some of the Hakuna Marana heydays where we were just first phase the Wyvern up.
First phase Wyvern.
Yeah, why not, dude? I think that she's fine first pickable in pubs at this point. Sure, why not?
Yep. So that's my primary interest. Also, I'm just scared at Alchemist buffs. That's really what I'm scared about.
The fact that like all the mids got nerfed and then Alchemist got buffed, like that doesn't bode well for my mental health, dude.
Yeah, and
that's like a top priority.
Like, I wish Bristleback was nerfed a little more, and of course, because it wouldn't be Theorycrafting Thursday if we didn't say, hey, why isn't Solar Crest nerfed more and Evasion changed? But here we are.
Definitely still
they haven't nerfed any of the Evasion talents either, by the way. We'll point that out.
Buffed them.
Yeah,
they're either so insignificant that they're not taken, or they turn it into Butterfly at level 20 or something. Yeah, what else? Anything else cool here? Like, a lot of these buffs were just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. Shadow Demon buffs were cool, though. I like those.
Yeah, okay. Shadow Demon, I'm into. Yeah, Night Stalker nerfs were cool.
I'm happy 4 o'clock was nerfed. I like 3 o'clock. I think it's a really cool thing to have, like, in meta, but 4 o'clock is just aggravating.
Yeah, that's something that should not be. You know, like, I love that Dota is a game where you can, like, run anything anywhere in theory, or, like, where there's room for innovation like that.
Yeah.
But I also don't like when we had roaming 4-position Phantom Assassin. I also was not into that world. So some things, yes, it's cool that they happen, but also it would be cool if they stopped happening afterwards.
What's that quote people say? It's like, good
for the goose, but bad for the gander.
No, it's when people say...
that's one of them.
It's when people say, you questioned whether you could and not whether you should. Right, and just because you can run 4 clockwork doesn't mean God intended it that way, all right?
Yeah, and in this case, by that we mean Ice Frog. And with 2 or 1 position Venomancer, definitely not.
Yeah, and also the Judeo-Christian God, I'm pretty sure he and I conversed, and he said, no, that should not be a thing. He has a really good Dota podcast, too. You should check it out.
I remember seeing your text about that, and I was like, you use a lot of emojis, dude.
Yeah.
I like emojis, but you use, like, a lot.
It's a problem. It's Discord related, mostly. Both like Discord in the literal sense of the word, and then Discord in the like
Is there
proper
anything
noun.
else? Are we
No, that's it.
done?
All right,
Okay.
so we're going to close the show. Our plugs, we have a website, defensepatients.com. We have a Patreon. You can support us there, patreon.com/defenseofthepatients. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/.btv. We stream our Wednesday night in-houses there at 9 p.m. Eastern. We also have me streaming there occasionally, and occasionally other people streaming there. We also can be subbed to now, so if you're a free sub from Amazon Prime, it costs you literally nothing if you have Amazon Prime. You just have one if you ask for it, and you tie your
I'm
Twitch
not
account.
accepting any subs right now.
And well, you're not, but .ptv is. So go send us your free Twitch subs because you may as well, right? That's it.
It's
Other
just
things,
anytime
Twitter.
like fucking like the word subs in context is just like fucking hilarious.
So
All of my Twitch subs.
on Twitter, I am at Ursinity, Proud is at Proud Dota. Our show's at .p_show. Our Discord is discord.gg/.p.
I'm more of a Twitter dom than a Twitch sub, if I'm gonna be honest.
I'm both. I'm a Twitch switch and
you're like an Instagram switch. I think you would be an Instagram switch. And if you were
a Tumblr
what
dom.
would Facebook do? Yeah, what would Facebook be?
No, Facebook. I don't even
That
know.
would just be like fucking,
Vanilla.
Yeah, that's just like missionary position.
Yeah.
After marriage, that's Facebook.
Yeah, with a sheet in the middle. That's
Yeah,
Facebook.
with a sheet in the middle and your special underwear.
Yeah,
Not like the good kind of special, but like the weird kind of special underwear. And not the good weird. Yeah, anyway, this is a great topic. All right, we're done.
Boy, all right. We've gone entirely
What
off the
other
rails.
social medias can we conflate with like weird? I mean, not weird, but just, I'm trying to
Pinterest.
think. Pinterest. Yeah, that would be
Pinterest is
good.
like if you go out swinging.
What? Oh, okay. I thought you meant like, like fucking I'm going down
violence.
swinging, like fighting. It was like,
Going out
like
swinging.
dying while punching nerds. I'm like, I guess that's not really what I wanted to characterize Pinterest as, but
You
sure.
don't kink shame. All
Yeah,
right.
Okay. No. I really need to. We need to figure out Pinterest before we close this. This is actually a big deal.
I'm telling
'Cause
you, dude, it's like the wine mom going out
Okay.
on town.
Yeah. Okay.
Or wine
This
dad.
is hard because I don't want to be too debased in what I say right now, but also
you
like
definitely haven't considered that so far.
Well, actually, I have, and that's why I'm worried.
That's good.
Okay. Right. I'll stop. It's fine. We're done.
Okay. Yeah, we're done. So thanks for listening, everybody. And it's been our theory, but just patch notes.
Just fuck Pucknut.